Hey guys, if you're playing Monster Hunter Rise and looking for some solid endgame mix sets, then we've put together 3 sets for 3 different weapons that will help you take on those tougher monsters, as they certainly helped us. These are by no means min-maxed ultimate meta mix sets, but they are definitely appropriate for all content in the game, and from our own experience have served us very well. Feel free to share your mix sets or tips and advice that you have for build making down in the comments below, and don't forget to drop a like and subscribe while you're at it. We're going to start off with a multi-use elemental bow set that can effectively be turned into many different elemental options just by making extra rampage weapons. This build has the same pieces for all the different elemental options and is very effective if you prefer to use the monster's elemental weaknesses on your bow sets. I personally use this for my fire, thunder, ice and water builds, but again, do be aware you will have to craft multiple rampage bows with different elements on them so that you can quickly switch between these loadouts. Overall, without eating or using items to buff yourself, you will have 260 raw damage, 25 elemental damage, an effective 50% affinity on weak points with weakness exploit, and 423 defense. The armor pieces that you will need for this set, we're going to start off with Mighty Bow Feather. This is a needed piece as it's the only armor in the game that has the Bow Charge Plus skill on it. You're also going to want the Vake Mail, the Vake Braces, the Chrome Metal Coil, the Rachna Greaves, and finally a Talisman with ideally at least level 2 Constitution and as many high level slots as you can get, ideally with at least 1 level 2 slot. For the weapon, of course, as mentioned before, you're going to want to use the Rampage Bow, and we recommend speccing it out with attack boost, your choice of the different elemental types, rapid fire, exhaust and power coating, and then your choice of arc shot. Moving on to the decorations, you get 3 slots in the chest, and with the level 3 slot you want to be using normal rapid up, dual level 3. In the level 2 slot you want to use stamina surge, and in the level 1 slot you want to slot in your preferred elemental type that you are using for this build. For the arms, you're going to want both of these level slots to have another pair of elemental attack jewels that match your weapon. In the waist piece, you will use the level 3 and the level 2 slot to slot in 2 more Tenderizer weakness exploit decorations, and then in the level 1 slot, I've gone for the reload speed jewel. However, if you don't like having your bow coatings automatically loaded, you can instead replace this and the next one with another elemental attack jewel. And then finally, as mentioned before about the Talisman having at least a level 2 slot, we're going to use that for our final weakness exploit jewel. Overall, this will give you level 4 Constitution, which can be increased if you have a better Talisman than me. You'll also have Weakness Exploit level 3 for that extra critical chance on weak points, Elemental Attack 3 of the type you've chosen, Stamina Surge level 3 for faster stamina recovery, and remember, Constitution and Stamina Surge are very effective on the bow and effectively translate into longer combos, which means more damage. You'll also have normal rapid up level 3 for more flat damage, as well as reload speed level 2 for the auto loading bow coatings, which is a preference of mine but can be swapped out for more elemental attack jewels if you like. And finally, you'll of course have the Bow Charge Plus to increase the number of times you can shoot your bow and keep your combo going for increased damage. Remember that you can make multiple different loadouts of this same build with different elemental jewels slotted in and multiple rampage bows of the different elements to fit every situation you need before you go out on a hunt. Next up is an all-rounder critical dual blades raw damage build that utilizes lots of critical and damage boosting skills alongside Master's Touch and the white sharpness of the weapon to allow you to purely focus on damage dealing and sharpening when you fall to blue sharpness or lower. You don't have to worry about switching sets in between hunts with this one because we're not going for an elemental or status type, we're just focusing on high crit chance and raw damage. Overall, before taking into account for both eating and using buffing items, we will have 262 raw damage, we will reach 100% affinity when you include the bonus of weakness exploit, and we'll also have 467 defense. The armor pieces that you will want for this dual blade build is the Kaiser Crown, the Vike Mail, the Valstrax Braces, the Anjanath Coil, the Hunter's Greaves, and your highest attack boost talisman as possible with as many slots as possible. For the weapon, we're going with the Night Wings and we're ramping up for attack boost. For the decorations, you're going to want to slot in a critical boost jewel level 2 in your weapon. In the helmet slot, we're going to put in speed sharpening. In the chest slots, we're going to add in 2 Master's Touch jewels and another speed sharpening jewel. Then in the arm slot, we're going to add in a weakness exploit. And for the waist, we're going to add in another Master's Touch and our last point in speed sharpening. And then you have an extra level 1 slot that you can use for whatever you like, and I've gone for stun resist. In our leg slot, I've gone for critical boost. And because I have 2 extra level 1 slots in my talisman, I've gone to finish off stun resistance and an extra point in flinch free. This is up to you depending on what your talisman has though. Overall, this gives us attack boost level 7, which is very good because we get a 10% attack bonus with that. We have critical eye level 3 and critical boost level 3, weakness exploit level 3, Master's Touch 3, which will help with our sharpness loss as we attack. It's important to note that you really do want to focus on the weak points so that you have that 100% critical chance, so that Master's Touch can be activating as often as possible for you. Remember, Weakness Exploit gives you that 50% bonus crit chance on weak points, meaning if you aren't hitting a weak point, you will actually only have 55% affinity, which means Master's Touch will only be activating about half as often as if you were hitting a weak point. Then, because I added in those stun resistance, I have stun resistance level 3. Of course, we also have speed sharpening 3. This is important to speed up the downtime of our sharpening. And then that 1 point in flinch free that I added in as it was an extra slot. It's worth mentioning we do have the Dragon Heart skill from the Valstrax arms, however we don't use status or elemental damage in the build, so the Dragon Blight isn't too bad, but do make sure to keep an eye on your health anyway. Next up, we have another nice all-round sword and shield build with very high raw and decent critical chance. It's quite similar to the last build for the dual blades, but there is some tweaks in it and changes that make it more appropriate for the sword and shield. Again, this is very beneficial to have because you don't have to worry about changing your set, as it is raw damage focused. It will work on every monster. It has white sharpness, and remember your sharpness loss can be mitigated with sword and shield by using shield attacks. It has a good crit chance at about 75% including weakness exploit, and overall without eating or buffing, we have 295 raw, 75% affinity with that weakness exploit, and 467 defense. The armor pieces you will want for this sword and shield build are the Kaiser Crown, the Vike Mail, the Valstrax Braces, the Anjanath Coil, and the Ingot Greaves. And again, you want your highest attack boost decoration as possible, with as many slots as possible. And for the weapon, we're going with the Tigrex sword, ramped up for attack boost. Let me know in the comments, is it Tigrex or Tigrex? I'm not quite sure. Moving on to decorations, in the helmet slot, you're going to want to fit in Stamina Thief. In the chest slot, you're going to want to fit in Critical Eye and Critical Boost with another Stamina Thief. And then you want to put that Weakness Exploit jewel on the arms. For the waist, you want to add in another Critical Eye and your final point in Stamina Thief, as well as a Speed Sharpen. Then in the legs, we'll want to add another Speed Sharpen, and finally finish off the Speed Sharpen in your talisman. And I added a free meal because I had an extra level 1 slot going spare. Overall, this will give us attack boost level 7, very good for that 10% bonus. Critical Eye level 7, very good to negate the Tigrex's sword's negative affinity. We'll also have Weakness Exploit level 3 for more critical chance on weak points, Stamina Thief level 3 for when we're doing those shield attacks, as well as Speed Sharpening level 3 to decrease the downtime when we need to sharpen. Much like before, we have the Dragon Heart skill, but we aren't using status or elemental damage, so we don't have to worry about it too much, but do keep an eye on your health. And that's it, 3 endgame builds that you guys can use to cover your needs for all the content in the game. Let us know in the comments if you have any builds to share or mix set building tips. Thank you for watching, everybody. Make sure to drop a like and subscribe down below. I hope you're all staying safe, having a good day, and I'll see you next time.
If you want to catch more from us at HyperX Gaming, don't forget you can catch the guys 269 and Paradise Central streaming over on Twitch weekdays, playing a variety of games. If you guys want to jump in, tune in, watch, and even join in, then make sure you check them out. The links to those are in the description box down below, and of course you can join the Discord to get involved in all of the discussions.